Big dog, man.
For sure.
Got a lot of love, a lot of respect for you. I come from the artistry a little bit, so now that I made my exit, my plan with this intermission segment was to give flowers, embrace, show respect, and just love in general to artists, producers, and creators in general.
Yeah.
People that I've seen myself with my own two eyes that I really got a lot of love for, man. Yeah. So you're definitely one of them. So I appreciate you pulling up, man.
For sure.
Now let's get right into it, brother. Yeah. So tell me, for the viewers and the folks that may not know you, who would you say Oski Isaiah is?
Damn. That's a good question, bro. I would say I'm a church kid. Came from a sports family that happened to be left-handed, short, and a little bit slower than everybody else, and had to develop a pen and a mouthpiece, really just so that I could, stand next to my family members, for real. They doing, as they're doing, excellent stuff on the field, on the court, baseball, three-sport athletes all throughout. It's like, I gotta find a way that I can, make my own name, because I ain't running the 4-3s like they are. You feel me? I ain't doing what they doing. But coming from that sports family, I was able to stay competitive. Being in the church, I was in church probably 4 times out. Damn, can I cuss, bro?
Yeah.
My bad, shit, yeah. About 4 or 5 times, out the week. And that's really where the music kind of came from. Really was raised on R&B and church music. I think that combination of environments kind of just created me, for real.
I think it's dope. You was in the choir?
In the choir, bro.
Yeah.
I played the drums for a little bit. I don't know why they let me
in
do
the
that.
church?
Yeah, they was tripping letting me do that.
Nah, look, so I'm in church today, obviously.
Yeah.
But I've been in church watching the musicians, the singers, the drummers, the saxophone dude, to be specific, all of them.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, man, I think the livest musicians either in or come from a church background.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I think I'm like the latest.
Yeah,
And it had to be something, because you definitely on a whole nother level with it. And I say that with it's a different way they craft music. It's a different oomph to it, I guess you could say. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
That's big, man. What church was you going to growing up?
I grew up, when I was growing up, I went to Mount Zion in Glendale. And
that's where I'm living at now.
For a lot of growing up, I had pastors who was able to tell it like it is, but they was also able to stay Bible, so they wasn't just up there telling stories and making stuff up. They was up there relating, not seeming on some holier than thou, but being able to relate it back to the book, so they know this ain't me saying this, it's like, so I was able to have a real healthy church environment. I feel like when I was coming up, I ain't really had no horror stories about being in church and it was being crazy.
And that's, not to cut you off, but that's important, so you build on your faith.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's absent in today's world.
Yeah.
Obviously world, but our music culture, to be specific. You don't really hear. Actually, I'm on a roll. The last 5 to 6 people, including athletes I done sat down with, that mentioned or spoke on God first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's big to me, because it's been I almost feel like it's faith and all that get diluted nowadays. You know what I'm saying? What you feel about that?
I think, and it's ironic because as soon as I could, I was in church like I said, 4 times a week, but as soon as I could not have to go, as soon as I was grown enough to not have to go, I wasn't going.
Forced to go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But in my adulthood, I've been able to really make a lot more sense of them lessons, and really kind of apply those lessons in a way that I could see through some grown man eyes. Yeah. And I think what's happening is that a lot of us are coming into an age, like, you know what I'm saying, and the people that you interview, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us are coming into an age where it's like, okay, them one lies, like we seeing it for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Or we seeing what we was kind of brought through, you know what I'm saying? It's like, shoot, I damn near came to the realization of the day, like, it made more sense to me why they say, like, God give the toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And I used to think like that don't make no sense, but he know. I'm somebody that's been, like I said, in the church so much as a kid. He gonna give somebody like me some battles because he know on the other side of that, I'm gonna give him the credit. You know what I'm saying? I can use him because I know after the dub, he gonna be like, God did it. And it's like, okay, that's comforting with whatever can go on or can be going on. So I think it's more prevalent or it's absent in a way because, you know, I don't know, maybe it's not as many elders, you know, sitting us down and
it's a disconnect.
Yeah, it's a little bit of disconnect, but I think maybe right on time is that our generation is seeing God's work live, you know what I'm saying, and being some cats like us, some younger cats who could tell, you know, some youth like, nah, God lit, like, you know what I'm saying, without him we couldn't do it. So
we couldn't do none of this.
It's on us, you know what I'm saying, for real.
And that's crazy you say that. So when I was kind of explaining to you walking down here, the situation, how I had transitioned from the old spot to here, the pastor and the people within the church was like, you get to talking to me, we've been watching you. I don't know if you call that scouting me, you know, but that's what it felt like. But it's like, they like, man, the way you be with the youth, we feel like you could be a major piece in knocking down that disconnect between the folks our age and the, you know what I mean? And it took me a couple weeks because, like I say, my little brother has just passed, so I'm kind of stuck in my way a little bit. Like, man, I don't really want no help. I don't want to talk to nobody, you know. So weeks go past and it kind of made sense. I'm like, man, I deal with a lot of young people and I watch a lot of people deal with young people, but they can't really get through to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a different era of young boys out here, so it gotta be a gift for you to make them, not make them listen to you, but make them want to buy into what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that word disconnect is huge, man. Tell me a little bit what's going on with you in the music. So I know last night you performed at the Benny the Butcher.
Yeah.
How was that?
Man, it was dope, man. Shout out Santino Corleone, man.
Santino.
Man, definitely shout out to bro. I did a record, you know what I'm saying, kind of in the middle of his set alongside some other people we brought up there, man. It was a cool environment, man. It was a show that brought out a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? It was good to see a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while, you know what I'm saying, and just being in that environment. I'm somebody who I don't be realizing I miss certain people until I'm around them. And then it's like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying, it was good, like, good to see. So it was a lot of love, it was a lot of good energy, and Benny dope, you know, I fooled Benny. So if you fool with Benny, I think it was a show that represented him well too. So it was cool. And then musically, bro, I really wanted to, I really had to, I was forced to, I feel like I had to stop looking at my music as, I don't know, I can't say necessarily I ever looked at it like a hustle, but I had to pay more attention to how I was treating my art. You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm in a space of, you know, treating my songs and me as a musical artist like a mural on the wall. Like, you know what I'm saying, being more appreciative of the art, you know what I'm saying, and finding more creative ways to be, you know, my truest self, you know what I'm saying? Because what I don't ever want to be is to be, you know, writing myself into a place where, you know, I'm either I can't stand by them lyrics or stand by that song, or I'm not proud to, you know, for this song to represent me in a certain way. Or, you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling like I'm forced to, you know, or I feel like I'm avoid who I am for real. So I just wanted to make sure I'm, you know, representing me genuinely the right way, you know what I'm saying? But the pen ain't stopped, and that's unfortunate to say that for sure.
Yeah, I'm not. You a legend in my eyes.
Man,
legend in the making, because I mean you still going.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to touch on. So did you take a break? And if so, my bad. If so, Would you mind getting into what led you to it?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a break. I would more so say that, and this is about to get a real exclusive, like some real exclusive insight in this regard, and that everybody really, really close to me knows that I'm more of a TV movie guy than I am a music guy. It's like all my friends are the people who hunt the music. You know what I'm saying? They know when the new music is out. You know what I'm saying? And I only know the new music because I'm around them. You know what I'm saying? I really would much rather, watch a show all day than there would be to listen to some music all day. And I think I went through some life experiences that forced me to use my pen a little differently. So I really been getting into some of those passions, you know what I'm saying? Really trying to hone in on, what my role could be or what role my pen can play, in maybe TV shows or film.
Placements,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or getting more creative as far as fictional stories or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I really just, I can't say I took a break as in it was deliberate. I took some steps back deliberately and for some, you know what I'm saying, for some reasons, but for the most part, life really, bro, you know what I'm saying? And I think it led me to a place where I'm happy I saw some of the things I saw, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be where I'm at, for real.
That's the big part of it.
Yeah.
Like that reshifting to lead you back to peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like even when we was talking again off camera, like I told you, like I looked at this, it was therapy for me.
Yeah.
And then it became hell for me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
so it's
sure.
good to hear you say that, man.
For sure.
Like I told you, one of my favorite artists, bro. Been one of my favorite artists. I knew of your music before I knew you.
Yeah.
So, I think I knew you back in the day though. Grade school for some reason.
Man, I went to Marvin Collins. I went to Glendale for a second. I went to the Phoenix.
Bruh, that's where I went.
You went to the Phoenix?
Bro, I remember the song. Was that Rise
the Light?
Yeah, bro, I went there. So I was like 5th grade. No, I don't remember what grade. I'm lying.
I went the year I got kicked out of Glendale. I think the Giants won the Super Bowl. So I ended up going to the Phoenix the back half of that year. And we was in Swift Commons at the Phoenix.
Yeah, Swift Commons. I remember recess used to be out there in that little lot.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember, I can't even remember none of my friends from there. There was a dude named like Rajiv. It was a dude named.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember you, bro. We had the ties.
Yeah. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I had to realize the other day, trauma done made me forget some years of my life,
that's what
bro.
it do to you. That's what it do to you. But now I always thought I knew that for some reason, but I never wanted to bring it like. Bro, I know it's sold from somewhere. I really know it's sold from somewhere. But I don't want to bring it up and bro be like, man, what you got going? You feel me? Dang, that's deep. That's deep. Oh man, I forgot what we was just saying, but that's I knew, bro. I knew.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's wild. So, all right, we got the Benny the Butcher. We know you done opened up. You done did shows for. I think I was looking up. Tell me some of the artists that you done opened up or did shows with.
Man,
Chip the Ripper. You
I was
did
about to say one of my very first ones on. Like I was about to say from a long time ago was Chip the Ripper.
Out the gate. Like that was one of your first.
Yeah, damn near.
How was that experience?
It was actually I had some white boys I was real cool with. They loved me, man. I love them too, man. Shout out my boy Matt Edge. He was making my beats, and our homeboy Graham, he had I think he was in like a frat or something. Like he was rapping or something like that, and they brought Chip down. Like they brought him to the city, and we had some records, and they was like, let's
bring him out.
Yeah. So we ended up doing them records. Man, I always like performing, bro. Like even in preschool, bro, they had us at the Aeronaut, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I knew I wanted to do that. Like, you know
Early.
what I'm saying? Yeah, early, for sure. But as far as like major artists I've opened for, Chip was, like I said, the first one. Damn.
You done been in Atlanta doing shows?
Yeah. We did some. We had some A3C shows. We did some South by Southwest. I did one South by Southwest, and that was an experience, man. That was like did one that had like I was doing shows at, you know what I'm saying, and we ended up going down there, man, driving down there for like 17, 18 hours, so. But it was an experience, man. It was something that, you know, I did with my brothers, and, you know, it was just fun being down there. Like, you know, fun feeling like we officially, you know, doing music or whatever the case may be. But it was cool, bro.
Man, that's dope. I was just thinking back to your projects. How many projects in are you? I know I made one of them, you feel me? Like, I ain't gonna lie, hold on, brother. That much love to you. Now, for real, because you don't know at that stage, for me, wasn't nobody rocking with me, for real. I told you, it was real. I was down there. I don't have a problem admitting I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But, like, you was one of the few people that was, like, genuine, like, I'm gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So I always have an ultimate level of respect for you for that, bro. Real talk, you feel me? And how the fuck a job, you feel me? Like that, you nigga, yeah. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one I was like, yeah, I remember. Hold on, yeah. Talk about that. I asked you a question. I be getting ahead of myself, and I'm excited, brother. I'm just enjoying your presence, man.
For sure, man. I'm really and I'm really, damn.
So around made me say fuck a job.
But now what I'm and this is kind of something I'm looking to do. Like I'm a lot more projects in than some of the platforms are representing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I want to get to a point where I'm really putting everything back up, you know what I'm saying, to be enjoyed, you know what I'm saying? Because it's some, my first ever project, and if you know this, I don't know what to say, because it's weird down there if you know this, but I had a project called Arizona's and Bad Bitches that I did, and that was just insane. It was funny. I had a project called Shit I Did at a Party.
I read that.
Yeah, that I did all in one day. Then I did Loyalty Means Everything.
That's the LME.
Yeah, I did Loyalty Means Everything. Then I had a project called Next Level Shit. And then I had an EP that I put out briefly, and then I kind of scrapped early. It was called The Effort. And then I got Adventure 1, Adventure 2, Fuck a Job, and then...
So the catalog crazy.
Yeah. And at a point, I was putting out something every year. And when that kind of died down, I felt like I was letting myself down. I felt like I wasn't doing what I was known for. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I built my name on, you know, consistency, and that really people don't know where I'm from in the city. Like people can't point to me and be like, oh, I was from here, or he over here with us, or like, you know what I'm saying? And I think I've still been able to garner respect from every corner of the city based on showing face and representing, you know what I'm saying? And
I was just about to ask, do you feel like that's a positive or a negative?
I think it's a positive because it's everybody that fuck with me, I know is fucking with me based on respect I earned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No,
there's just from here and
ain't no incentive. There's no incentive to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been part of, in respect to all my brothers who are, I ain't never been a part of no group. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never, been a part of like no conglomerate of nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I always say, like, everybody don't know me, but I don't believe you can make two calls in the same hood in any corner of the city and somebody don't know who I am. You know what I'm saying? And I just think I put in a level of street work, you know what I'm saying? Footwork rather, you know what I'm saying? And then showing up when I was asked to, with the pen, with the performance, with whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I think I pride myself on that's what, got me the amount of love I feel like I get.
Yeah, man. Well, you got the love for me. I was just thinking in my head, I done heard folks steal your ad libs. I don't want to go too far, man, about stealing, man. But I was just thinking in my head, like, man, I think you really a staple in this city, man. Probably beyond this, but I'm going to just stick to the city. Like, when it comes to your sound, your style of music, your delivery, what you done brought to the game, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just one of the few that's going to tell you, like, you know what I'm saying? You deserve
I appreciate that.
multiple flowers, because, like, when I'm really playing back ad-libs in my head, and then when you hear it now, so I think I used to get discouraged myself, like, man, I don't sound like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now I think, like, when you at this space you in, back at this piece, you able to probably, you know, and I don't want to speak for you, but it's kind of like, hopefully you can look at it like, man, like my impact. Hopefully you don't short yourself and you notice the impact that you done really made out here.
Man, imposter syndrome is crazy because it's going to convince you that you don't really deserve, you know, some of the stuff you really deserve, or it's going to keep you in a constant state of trying to chase the next thing and not be, you know, present and appreciative. And, you know, one thing I know I made is an impact. You know, I pride myself on having an impact. That's why it's like, bro, I get sent elephant content at least 3 times a week.
You had the shirts.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you know, I get sent like from people just seeing elephants and thinking of me.
Signs in there.
And
I mean the dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And for real, like, even that was a struggle because people gotta, like, when people see elephants, you know what I'm saying, especially from a nigga, it's like you want to attach it to, like, you know, African pride or whatever. And that's no diss to that, you know what I'm saying? But I was coming off as like a super hip hop, like super duper, like, you know, back to the motherland type rapper. And I had to rap and perform my way out of that stigma. And really, I think I helped to give, you know, it's hard to make elephants any cooler than they are because they lit already. But I feel like I was able to give elephants a coolness that they maybe weren't getting, you know what I'm saying? Before me, I don't think people saw them in a certain light until I made it so, you know, and I think...
You don't even got to think. Like, you definitely made it a stamp. Like,
yeah.
Or to a point where when you see the elephant, like, you know it's you.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, vice versa, like, with you, it comes back.
Yeah, or even subconsciously, like, I ain't expecting, you know, no credit or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, I feel like I put in work where it's like, if people see an elephant and they know who I am, they've thought about it, you know what I'm saying? So
that's like with me with the pain.
Yeah.
Like, it was more than just, it's something people relate to, like, have grown with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bigger than just you.
Yeah.
Like, it's people that embrace that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's game changing alone. That's almost bigger than, that's maximum success to me, man, for real. Because you may not know, you got the people that's going to tell you, but just think about the ones that never been able to tell you, like, man, you know what I mean? So kudos to you on that note too, man.
I appreciate it.
I'm excited to see what's to come. Like I said, what's already been done, them chapters before.
Yeah.
To me, it's history, it's legendary. And I don't call everybody saying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I told you the list of people I look up to, you on that list, and we the same age.
Yeah.
So it's like, that respect, you one of them ones that made me want to do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I was coming from that construction gig or doing what I wasn't supposed to be doing out here, you know what I'm saying? So I still remember a picture I took with you. Was we at Bogart's?
That we was at
where, Madison?
We might have been at Privilege.
Privilege? Yeah, I remember that. I still, like, my mind be, bro, I still remember.
Yeah.
So, man, I appreciate you, man. What's next for you? So I know we talking placements. Man, and the movies and stuff like that, but what's next? What's something that the people should look forward to?
And I don't want to be vague, but I kind of have to be a little bit. But just the most comfortable version of me, you know what I'm saying, from the standpoint of a writer and a rapper and a performer. I'm helping my homegirls at the nightcap. So make sure y'all come to the nightcap, man. Come get some good food.
Man,
at the nightcap.
Popping up, man.
It's excellent. It's the best
food
food in the
was
city.
talking to me about that.
It's the best
and I be
food in the
seeing
city.
the posts. I need to get over there and get some. Yeah, so it's open late night.
Man, late night. It's excellent food.
They open on Sundays?
Not open on Sundays. I don't want to give away too much or say nothing on their behalf, but
shout out to the Nightcap.
Man, shout out
over there.
Yeah, shout out to the Nightcap.
But
being in there with them has, you know, I've been able to kind of soak in, you know, and be in an environment that's real comfortable for me by way of being around pretty women who love music, you know what I'm saying? And I've gotten to be in there, and my pen is doing a lot of things, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still writing crazy, you know, just looking to give the best and the most authentic version of Oski Isaiah. That's what's to come, you know what I'm saying? So anybody that's, you know, willing to, you know, I don't want to say stick around as if we're going somewhere, but anybody that is paying attention, you know, want to hear Oski Isaiah, like, the best is yet to come for sure.
So this summer, we
man, yeah, around something like that, bro. Realistically,
I'm fan. I'm telling you, keep me in the loop, man.
Man, nah, for real.
Whatever I can do to help, or you know, just even just marching with it, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Let me
yeah.
know, because like I said, even this is. I feel like even this is what we doing now is gonna help a lot. Just because, like, I want to be able to be on the other side now.
Yeah.
Other than making the music. So however I can help, bro, let me know.
That.
I'm talking about, bro. Let's go to war with it, man. This summer it's about to get hot out here. Get back out here with them hits. Put that old music back out like you said, because them hits, and it might not have been the time for everybody to even know how to consume it, because I really feel like you was ahead of your time, in a sense. Like, or maybe your wave, like, you know what I mean? Wasn't nobody moving like you. So now it's like when you make timeless music, you can.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, bro. I definitely wasn't the first person to do it. But I was wrapping my CDs in plastic. You know what I'm saying? 10,000 of them. Like, just, you know what I'm saying, giving them out, selling them. And it's like impressing people to the point. And I'm working at Walgreens at the time, bro. I'm taking my little checks and
investing in that,
trying to make it make sense, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was people picking up my CD from wherever they was at in the city, being on some like, who was dude? What type shit he on? Like, who he with? You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't me. It was just me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes I've looked at not necessarily having a large team or whatever the case may be as kind of maybe something that I've needed, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that, damn, what am I doing to not maybe have that? Or what am I doing? What could I be doing more to get something like that? And then on the flip side, it's like, man, sometimes certain journeys have to, you know, I may have had to go through certain shit dolo, you know what I'm saying, to really maybe appreciate that when it show up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm fortunate to have some people close to me now, you know, where we able to move, you know what I'm saying, and we gonna keep moving for sure.
Yeah, man, keep it rocking, man.
For sure.
Give me, so I know it's a lot of them, a bunch of them, man, but give me, if you can, one of your favorite, or you can word it, most memorable moments for you while you've been in music. Like, what's something like you would never...
Bro, I'll never forget, bro. Ubon Fest. Ubon Fest performing down there with in the tunnels was the only time both my mom and dad got to see me rap. You know what I'm saying? And being able to shout them out. You know, even sitting in here, bro, it's like, damn, can I cuss? You know what I'm saying? I remember being on stage, like,
at least you come like that, boy. I'm talking about, that's love. I'm talking about, boy. I be over here like, boy, we in the Lord's house. You can't be.
For real.
So like, that's how it was when your people's at that particular performance. She was like, was you cussing?
Well, absolutely. And to see me to see me on stage, you know what I'm saying, and then my catalog, like, I'm vulgar, I'm all that, you know what I'm saying, and to look at them and for them to be super proud, like, you know what I'm saying, for them to be hyped for me, and you know what I'm saying, they know who their son is, like, you know what I'm saying, and from that day, one of my favorite pictures ever exists, like, you know what I'm saying, and that's something that, you know, I try to reach to that feeling a lot, you know what I'm saying, like, 'cause it was heat, It was heat, but that's one of the things that I'm gonna take forever.
Man, that's
for sure.
That's dope, man.
For sure.
When the folks get behind it, that's anybody in the world can support you. When your peoples get in, when your peoples buy into it, man, that hit different. You feel me?
For real.
That's my baby out there.
Nah, for sure.
Well, Pop, that's my boy. You know what I mean? I already know what you mean.
That was he being able to shout him out from stage and all that. Like,
and they right there. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah. And another reason was, at the time, I was performing a song called Paid in Every Way. And it was turned, like, high energy record, you know what I'm saying? And if to see me on stage is to know I try to give a good performance, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going all out, you know what I'm saying, in that record, man. And for whatever reason, man, DJ Fresh, shout out Funeral Fresh, he run it back. I'm talking about gas. I done used all my turbo, thinking I done closed the show.
He run it back.
I don't know what made him do it, but the crowd, it was just so.
That's what they wanted.
That's what they wanted to happen, man. So that's one of my most memorable moments, one of my favorite shows of all time, for sure.
That's dope, man.